Alright, so now you'll be able to hear me. Recording mic. Sorry, I had to put myself on top. So let's jump into what I've been learning and doing everything about. Past 3 days, I've had to draw back into the Seferot, and the Seferot is uh, a connection point. So everybody's seen it. So you got one, two, three. You got a break. One, two, three. One, two, three. Then another. So you have connected branches that go all throughout, back and forth, except through there. And you see it sometimes with this top one down here and connected branches up, but that's not my way. And I'm going to offend some people, and I really don't mean to, but this Sephiroth is my way. So you have the top three for your awakening. I'm using the mouse for your awakening. And then down here, this is your seventh chakra. And from my training, understanding, you also, to be able to awaken and connect from the crown into this awakened state, you got to do it 3 times because of Kundalini. Whatever. I'm not spelling right now. This mouse is hurting. A little pebble on the little 8-inch laptop. So, as you can see, you got your 7 chakras. You're going to go 3 times around because you're going to go one, and you're going two, and then three into the crown. So you have to unlock the 7 seals. The 7 seals are along the spine, and as you go up the spine, unlocking your 7 seals, the 7 chakras, then you will feel the fire of Kundalini within you. It becomes easier and easier every time as you go through this, as you learn to control the guttural and reactionary phase within your body, you'll be able to move forward, and for each individual it's different. And that's why it's so hard for me to do this. Because my awakening is very different than anyone else's. Your awakening will be yours. Your understanding of the connection to the universe is all individualized. So being able to share mine is not a this is how, it's a this is how I did it. So 7 chakras into Kundalini 3.5 times. You can also, another fun one is Reiki, Reiki. Reiki gives you a focus point um, within your Kundalini to give you this experiment here. And a lot of people will never make it out of here. Because a lot of people only will do, okay, I've got to do my chakra cleansing, I've got to do my Reiki rituals up into my master, I've got to use all my symbols, or they only do the Kundalini opening of the body and the mind, but never allowing themselves to fully experience the spirit part of it. So you always start at your root, and you move into your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. Out of all of this line is the one that matters most. Because if you can be connected to the ground and earth within your spirit, control your urges in the world around you, speak to the glory within, you can make it through the veil. But if you do not control your urges and desires of the world, you cannot speak into the veil. So this is the hardest one for me. This is the solar plexus, controlling my guttural reaction. So when you have a reaction and somebody says something, controlling your triggers is another way to put it. When you have a reaction to something, whether it be good, bad, otherwise, you have that pit of your stomach just burp, and it comes across then as a negative tone and reaction to within what's happening in the situation. That has been my key for me. Once I started to control and understand a lot with the help of Kundalini, that I can control this reaction, this whole scheme in chakras became so much easier. I am neurodivergent. I'm autistic. I'm old to be autistic, but so is my dad. Um, that makes the third eye heart combination really easy because I'm self-aware of what's affecting me. I haven't been able to control it my whole life, but I have been aware of what's happening. And then the crown opening up, the pineal is hard to activate. I talk to people a lot, and most of what I talk about is psychonauts. Because this whole thing to me is psychonauts. Astral projection, meditation, internal understanding, the push for within, to understand why. So once you get up here, this is uh, truth, wisdom, and understanding. This is the part that's not within you. You can't get to this. You can't force this. You have to work down through here. You got to start at your root and really ground yourself in the understanding. Move into your sacral for your control of your internal desires. To the solar plexus to control your reaction to the outside world. Your heart to understand not only why the perspective you have, but to enable the understanding of others. The throat, the throat's, as I kind of drew it here, the biggest one. Because if you can't exclaim and explode your understanding and knowledge out into the universe, most people aren't going to get it. This is your third eye. The third eye, your ability to look within, not look without, not look into the universe, to look inside yourself. And the crown is your connected nature unto pieces that aren't you, that aren't physical, they're spiritual, universal knowledge, truths, um, quantum field, the theory, the Akashic records. It's everything because it's not part of this down mental and physical form. It's part of the universal. So here you have wisdom and understanding, knowledge, understanding, but the top is truth, light. It's the good, the good within the good that no good will, no bad could ever be good bad enough. However the hell that's supposed to make any sense anyway. But I'm doing all of this on an 8-inch laptop. Things I do. So I don't know if you can, if it shows when I jump to the OBS on the video, but I'll find out before I upload it. But I have all of this drawn out on a nice little whiteboard, written out with the Judeo understanding and awakened understanding of the actual little Seferot circles. And this is how I do it. How I got to this piece right here. This veil. I call it the void. Because once you peer into this, once you pull back that curtain inside your mind, and you're able to just let it all go. A friend of mine's a pastor, and he always likes to tell me, and it was a big sermon when he first came out with it. Um, you gotta lay it at God's feet, and a lot of people can do that. A lot of people can lay it down, but the problem is 90% of people pick it back up. They think just because I've laid it down means it's still mine to deal with. But that's the issue. Once you look at the veil, once you look behind it, nothing in this lower bottom section means anything anymore. It all becomes torture. It all becomes something you don't want to deal with. You just want to look into the void and see all the answers and understand. But the problem is, once you pull back, everything that you saw starts to become blurry again. And I've noticed that with a lot of my friends who are recovering. I'm recovering. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober for 17 years. I still call it recovery because that's how I feel about it. It is what it is. I still want to drink after all these decades. Times get tough. Fall back into those habits. The last thing you want to truly do is give in. And not giving in is led me here. 20 years of internal thinking, listening to anybody that would put out information on how to be better. All the self-help how-to books. None of them mean anything as much as this to me. I've invested thousands of dollars reading books and hundreds of hours. No, it's not a failure because I have all the knowledge, but the application is not something I truly grasped and something that helped me feel better about myself from within. This has, and I'm sharing it because that's the only way I know how. Video on this is crappy because no, this computer ain't built for doing this, but I'll make sure I pull out the actual cameras. You see, I got the Deej and the Moto on here. Roy, I'll run Droid Cam. So that way I can get some better video next time. But this is my video on my Seferot and how I came to be. To